What is so hard about retirement? Well, if you are living in a family with, let's say, two sons and their wives and children, so it's a big family, and the reason why your children are living with you is not out of great natural love and affection, but because you have a nice house in Dadar or Bandra and your children are earning well, but they can't afford the same location, so they don't want to leave. Luckily or unluckily for you, you got a nice 3 BHK, so but it's still getting crowded. Now why am I building all this for your retirement? Simply because next day morning when you want to get out, somebody is going to tell you, "Arey, you've retired, what is your hurry? Just wait for some time, let the others who are going to office get ready," or things like that, right? So I'm talking of a typical Bombay house where this what could be happening today, right? But of course, if you are well off or your children have gone abroad and therefore you don't have any of those other pressures, then there is no feeling that you are retired, except that somebody will say, "Oh, you've retired, when did you retire? I thought you would have retired earlier," or things like that. So the word retired is not looked at very positively by people. So therefore my book also, which says Retire Rich, it's meant for children, young boys and girls 22 24 years of age, but it is very difficult to get them to even read this book without being told, right? You will not, if you're 24, you're not going to pick this book off the shelf in the airport, right? So that has to be a 35-year-old, 38-year-old who picks up and says, "Okay, let me worry about my retirement." So not the young kids, but so therefore retirement does not have a very great positive tone. So therefore retirement is depressing, right? Not too many people, like I keep saying this, not too many people who have a choice retire. Look at film stars, they just don't retire. They still want to run around, the men especially want to run around with girls half their age, girls very close to their daughter's age, right? So they just don't have to retire. So Sunil Gavaskar doesn't retire from commentary, and Amitabh Bachchan does not retire from movies. Shah Rukh Khan still wants to be a hero. All of them are definitely gone by the best by date, but they are not retiring because they have a choice, and therefore comes to the first conclusion. Retirement is often depressing because most men, women are better off. Most men have no hobbies, they don't know why they are retiring, they know they are being forced to retire. So in most cases it is a push retirement. They are being pushed by their profession, saying, "Enough, you can't be running around trees, you're 80 years of age, you will do different roles," and this guy still doesn't want to retire. So first step is that people are normally have to be forced into retirement. There is a very big category of people who have enough money to retire. So for their case is different, but they are still in a very, very small minority compared to the huge number of people who don't have enough money to retire. Remember, retirement is expensive. Retirement is expensive, especially from the age of retirement till your age of 70, simply because you still have enough energy to go around the country or world or city or whatever to be able to enjoy life. To enjoy life is good, to have experience is good, but that costs money. Whether you want to go to a forest and roam around, whether you want to go to a mountain, whether you want to go to the sea and live in a nice place, all these things cost money. Many of us are not financially prepared for it. So suddenly when you're hit with 10 lakhs ghar kharch hai, so that has to be multiplied by 30 or 40 times, so you need 4 crores for retirement, and you suddenly wake up and you find that you don't have enough money, and you're worried that I know I was told that I need 1 crore for retirement, but during COVID I spent about 40 lakhs on my father's illness. We lost him, but that I had to spend that money. So suddenly you're seeing a hole in your retirement kitty. So these things are worrisome. So retirement being expensive is a big worry for most people. They have no clue what to do. Another thing is retirement requires a lot of change in your life, right? So right from whether you have to get up at a particular time in the morning, whether you have anybody to chat with, whether you have made enough friends outside of work. If the answer is no, then you can't keep calling your friends who are working, because they'll say, "This man is retired, he's chewing my brain." You're afraid of all that, so you don't call. They don't call, thinking that, oh, you would be sleeping, you would be traveling, or things like that. So like they say, ye chhoot jata hai. All the friendships which got built during work, just break down, and after 10 years after you have retired, you don't know anybody in the organization where you worked. You may know one or two people, but that's about it. So after that, what do you do? So if you've not built yourself a nice social circle of friends, could common hobby people, classmates, could be cousins, could be siblings, could be ex-neighbors or ex-colleagues from old offices, older than you, younger than you. Maybe there's a WhatsApp group in which you're keeping in touch. All those things are very, very essential, and not enough people build those social skills. They don't have those social skills. They don't know where to use. When they buy a latest gadget, they don't know from where they will get a instruction manual on saying how to use it. Their children are too busy for them, or maybe they don't have children, or in a worst case scenario, a child was there but the child has died. Any of these possibilities exist, right? And also remember, retirement is not work. So you don't have deadlines, you don't have alarms, you don't have schedules, you don't have to-do lists. So if you have built your life around those things, you now don't know what to do. You don't know how to fill up your day. Please learn how to fill up your day, because that is the most important skill that you will need. So 4-5 years before retirement, learn to build some of these hobbies at least. It should be something which you want. It can't be saying, oh, after I retire, I'll go to the temple. If you've never been to the temple from the age of 45 to 60, you're not going to be able to go to the temple every day, because you may not like to go, you may not enjoy going, or you may not have a purpose, right? So finding a purpose is very important. So that purpose could be to learn the Vedas, and for which you Veda recitation, you want to learn Rudram, Chamakam, Upanishads, whatever, and you are going to learn this from a temple, so you go to the temple. So there is a reason for going to the temple. It can't be just, oh, after retirement I'll go to the temple. This doesn't happen. I will go to bhajan committee, bhajans, mandalis, and start doing bhajan. You can't suddenly start at the age of 60, because it's a very, very negative way of looking. Develop your hobbies. If you don't have hobbies, you're going to be in big trouble. So you have to understand that retirement is not work, and retirement you have to find a purpose. Could be anything. Could be looking after your children's children, your grandchildren, right? They could be staying next door to you, they could be staying a little far away, you may relocate, right? Any of those things, but find a purpose. I mean, a lot of people who where one spouse is unwell, the other spouse keeps cribbing about what they're doing. But remember, that's a big purpose of life. Oh, I have to get up in the morning, I have to give my wife this medicine, I have to call the doctor, I have to do this test, I have to send this sample, right? So you're busy throughout the day doing something, looking after a unwell spouse for whatever reasons, right? Maybe you have servant support and everything, but that looks like a purpose. So when one spouse dies, the other caregiver just doesn't know what to do with life, so that person also sometimes dies. So find yourself a purpose, and which could be positive, negative, whatever. Could be maybe setting your friends' portfolios right, getting your friend's car serviced. Could be anything. Somebody who is in service may need this kind of support, so you could do that kind of work. So do something, keep active, find a purpose, because retirement without purpose leads to dementia, Alzheimer's and things like that. Nothing positive about it. So find something to do, join the gym, maybe spend 2 hours in the gym, 1 hour in the swimming pool, whatever. Find a purpose, go create a purpose. Otherwise retirement is really very, very hard. Thank you.